Hi guys, it's Hot Mess Mama. It's Tuesday. I know I normally don't do Facebook Lives on Tuesday. Usually that's a Monday and a Wednesday, maybe sometimes a Thursday and Friday thing. I know I need to get more regular with this stuff, but I'm a mom, so like you gotta roll with it sometimes, right? So it's Tuesday, and I feel like a very unfit mom. And not kind of unfit, well, I guess unfit in lots of ways, but today I'm feeling like an unfit, like unhealthy mom. Why? Because as you may have noticed from my posts today, I was gone like all of last week. I was gone for like 10 days. I was working in Las Vegas, assisting with managing a convention. And my days and nights were so long. I mean, I was up at like 5 in the morning and I didn't finish at night till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And it was like that for 10 straight days. And you're not eating right because you're just eating whatever's around because you have 2 seconds to grab something before you're running somewhere else. And I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't exercising and I was on a time zone change. And so I kind of felt it. And trust me, I did all of the supplements. Like I did all of like the beet juice and I did all the kombucha and all of the magnesium and all of the protein shakes. And I tried to do that. But after like a few days, my body was just like exhausted, right? And so that's when you kind of just got to do what you got to do. You got to drink lots of caffeine and just, like I said, eat whatever food's available. And so my body's really kind of paying for it right now. I haven't had a chance to exercise at all, which is unheard of for me. Like I normally don't go more than 3 days without working out because your body just starts to deteriorate, right? So I feel really gross. And so I was like, okay, I am going to go into the gym today. And of course, in true mom fashion, my plans for going to the gym, I did go to the gym, but I only got in about 30 to 40 minutes of cardio. And so that makes me feel really gross because I really wanted to get back into the swing of things after a very heavy, gross Easter working week. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to do some stretching and some yoga just to make me feel a little bit better, right? So this is my attempt at trying to be a little bit more fit with you. So if you want to join me, great. If you don't, you can always replay this. But basically, I had this grand tour plan. I downloaded this app. It's called Asana Rebel. It's ASANA Rebel. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I could do these like quick yoga things in my sleeping room while I'm on my convention. And I can, get some yoga in, get some core work in, right? Okay, so then I get there and I open it up and I start to like look at it. And it's like $5 a month or something like that. And I was like, okay, forget that. I'm not going to pay for this. I don't have the money to be dumping into a yoga class, a yoga app when I take yoga classes at home and such. So I thought, well, you know what? There's some really good ones on YouTube too. So when I'm done here today, I'll put some links in there for some free YouTube yoga tutorials. Now, I am by no means any kind of professional yogi, and I am in no means like super awesome at like Pilates or yoga or anything like that. I just really enjoy it. It helps me really center. It helps me really kind of feel better with all the breathing. Don't ever dismiss that last 10 or 15 minutes of your yoga class where they do relaxation and breathing, because that actually is really beneficial for you. Probably almost better for you than the actual yoga itself. That's my favorite part. Anyways, so what I'm going to do with you today is I'm just going to do a couple of yoga exercises that are my go-to exercises just to kind of keep my core in check, and things that I really enjoy doing when I have a few moments. And so I thought, okay, today I'll do a couple of these exercises because I didn't get a chance to do a full-on yoga class and I only got about 40 minutes of cardio in. So this is what I'm going to do with you. Now, first and foremost, if you guys don't already have one, get yourself a yoga mat. You can get cheap ones from Walmart or Target that are probably like 10 or 15 bucks, or you can go online and get like a sassy one that's big, beautiful prints and all that, thicker. If you're going to be doing yoga that is regularly, that is, then you might want to get yourself a mat that's thicker, just because it'll provide more cushion for your knees and for your joints. I had a really cheap one for a really long time, so at Christmas time I treated myself to a brand new yoga mat and it made my life so much better. I love my yoga mat. But even more so, there's a woman in my yoga /Pilates /barfit class who makes these awesome bags. Like she just makes them custom for you. She'll say, what colors do you want? What patterns do you want? I'll show you stuff. And she makes these awesome yoga mat bags that are custom sized to your actual mat. And it's got a strap on it. I know that sounds crazy. And it's got a little pocket here for you to put your cell phone or whatever, and other pockets that you can put things in up here, like your keys or whatever. And she even put my name on it. I love this woman. And I think she didn't even want to charge me for it. So gave her I don't know, 20 bucks or something. Hey, Dustin, how are you? You gonna enjoy my yoga class today? I'm not, okay, so I said play on words. I don't feel like a fit mother. Well, okay, most of the time I don't feel like a fit mother, but I'm physically not feeling like a fit mother today. So while lots of people do like to use your yoga mat, I sometimes like to not use one at all because especially for like standing strength or balance, because I feel like I don't have enough balance unless I stand on the floor. But then there's all those other gadgets and stuff, those people that have like the special yoga socks, you know, or they have all the yoga straps and the blocks. Okay, I'm a purist. Like, throw me in some barefoot, mat when I need it for my knees. But other than that, I'm good to go barefoot on floor. So there's a couple of things that I want to show you that are really, really good for you. And you guys have all heard about planks, right? And you see planks. They truly are like transforming. Dustin, have you ever done a plank before? Have you ever done like just a regular plank or a side plank or planks on your elbows or whatever? There's lots of different ways to do it depending on your skill level. So I'm going to do a plank for you right now. But like when you do plank, everyone thinks, okay, planks are really important to keep your, it's really important for you to keep your like butt in line with your spine and not like up like this, because you're not getting the full effect of the plank. You've got to hold your plank like this. And I'm pretty good with planks. I can hold them for a couple of minutes. And I thought about doing this entire Facebook Live and just doing like in a plank position. But then I realized, Susan, you talk a lot. That might be a little bit difficult to do a plank for that long. But I typically can hold them for a pretty long time. And then there's other planks that you can do that are a little bit more forgiving for those. Again, you got to get your butt in line so you don't want your butt sticking up. That you can do on your elbows like this. Sometimes some people find that those are a little bit more comfortable. Now, I find that sometimes when I do planks, it's not my core that hurts or my, anything like that, but my arms hurt. So I must be doing the form wrong. But there's variations where you kind of do steps. And we go up and down, up, down, up. You do those. And there's always a ever-loving side plank, which is harder than it looks because you really have to balance your feet, right? So you kind of hold this side plank. And the bit of it is that you want to reach your arm up almost like stretch as high as you can up to the sky. Yoga is all about lengthening and extending, and it's all about the poses and the breathing. And I know that sounds so cheesy, but it truly is. And there's also, you can always do the plank like this, and there's a plank you can do like that. But I'm not going to do all those for you because it'll take forever. But typically, those are the planks, right? And then, it's hard to talk when you're doing a plank. But then there's, the mountain climbers. Have you ever seen these? These are great. So you're in your plank position, butt in line, and you bring your knee into your wrist and back, and your knee into your wrist and back, and your knee into your wrist and back, right? So that's plank. Now, then you want to get into downward dog. That can bring you a little bit of relief. You guys are probably all familiar with downward facing dog. This is when you kind of go back and you want to try to bend your body as much as you can like this. In yoga too, they do all this really great like breathing. And it makes a lot of noise and stuff, but it really does feel better. Kind of like, those weightlifters that like grunt and stuff when they're weightlifting. The breathing, sometimes you can get a better pose, or you can get deeper into the pose or feel better if you do some really like loud breathing. There's names for it for right now. I can't really remember what they are. But that's downward facing dog. You want to try to stick your butt up and then you go back into plank, right? And then a lot of times there's like a flow that you can do. So you go from downward facing dog, back into plank, lower, down to the floor, and then upward facing dog. And if you don't know what upward facing dog is, it's like basically, bending your back. It's great for your back. It's great stretch for your back. You stretch it up like that. And then you can go back up into downward facing dog. And you can do more planks. You can do more mountain climbers. You can do more side planks. There's lots of variations and these very simple exercises you can do to just, for a couple of minutes a day, just to strengthen your core, keep your core strength, right? So we did some planks, we did some mountain climbers, we did some downward facing dogs and upward dogs. And then there are, I'm looking at my list. Three-legged dog. Okay, this is one of my favorites too. This is downward facing dog, right? And then you can pick up one of your legs up to the sky, downward facing dog, and you can even bend it and twist yourself around. Great exercises for the back, great exercises for your butt. You always want to like clinch and extend. Yeah. So that's, I love three-legged dog. And you can do that on both legs, right? And back into plank. And I'm looking else, what else is there? Oh, fireflies. If you've never done firefly, those are fun too. Okay, they're not really fun, but you know. Okay, so you're on your, you know, cat and cow, right? So this is cat, just like a cat. Helps to stretch out your back, especially if you're doing a lot of exercises. And go, kind of stick your butt up. Stick your butt up, right? And you're arching your back here. And you're up and cat. Yeah, okay, right. So you're on all fours. And you're gonna, they call this scorpion tail. So you go, you lift one leg up like a scorpion, right? And then you, with your arms, it's almost like you're doing a push-up almost, but your arms don't bellow out like this. They're supposed to go, this is a tricep exercise. And you kind of go down, and you go up. And you go down, and you go up. It's a lot harder than it looks, but you know, you get used to it. You just switch legs, and you do a couple more on this side, right? Those are great, those are fireflies. Those and mountain climbers, I dig. They're fun to do. Whew, okay, and then what else did we see? We did planks, downward dog, upward dog, three-legged dog, side planks, mountain climbers, fireflies. They're some of my favorites. My very, very favorite is child's pose. I'm sure you probably ever seen. You know how you kind of put your legs like this, and you sit back, and you just put your hands on your face like this. And it's supposed to stretch out your quads and stretch out your legs and open up your hips a little bit. That's a good one too. Lots of pregnant women do that one. I did a lot of that. My belly kind of got in the way and everything like that. And you got to be really careful when you're doing yoga when you're pregnant, because some poses are kind of dangerous for a pregnant woman to do. So that's why you have these videos that are like yoga for pregnant women. It's not that it's easier, but there are some poses that are dangerous for pregnant women to do. And you know, as well as, you know, there are some poses that may not be very good for the older woman to do. You need to know that even at certain times of the month, you can do yoga better than others because your hormones are changing. So, you may have more progesterone in your system at certain points of the month, and you might be able to hit some really awesome poses. Like you see those people that like can do those splits and stuff like that, or the dancer's pose where their legs are like like a dancer, or like a figure skater. It's so you may feel more flexible one day than you will another, and then sometimes one side is easier than another. So like if you're stretching, you're stretching one leg, you're out here and you're stretching like this. Like that. Sometimes this leg you might be able to get farther on this side than you would on the other side. So don't get discouraged with yourself. Just try it out. And you know what? A lot of people are shy and don't like to be in these classes because they feel like they're being watched. You can do this stuff at home. And you know what too? Don't worry about being watched, because to be perfectly honest, you really can't watch anyone when you're doing yoga because you lose your balance because you're watching someone else. They always tell you to like focus on a point on the floor or focus on a point on a wall or something like that and not watch anyone else, because when you see them wobbling, you begin to wobble. So it's rare that people actually watch other people because they know it's just going to disturb their own personal practice. So there were those. We talked about, bow pose. This is a really good one to strengthen your back. Okay, so you're on the floor. I don't even know if you can see me because I might be a little too close to the camera. Okay, so you're in bow pose, right? Bow pose is basically like this. You're on your stomach, and you grab your one leg like this, right? And you grab your other leg like this. Now, this is a full bow. I'm grabbing my ankles, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work really hard to clench my butt muscles and bring my knees together. And I'm going to go up. That's a bow pose. Some people can do it really, really far. And it's a really good stretch of your back, right? Just want to get your knees up off the ground, but clenching your butt, bringing your knees together, right? This is bow pose, full bow. Some people can't do a full bow. Some people can only do half bow. So, you just do one leg, right? Okay, great. So you can do a bow pose, full or half. And I love to do the upward facing dog, which is this one, after I do back exercises, because it helps to stretch out the back that you were just working, Then there's the other ones where you flutter kick. You put your arms out like this. You flutter kick. That's also a great one for your back. Or even just turning your palms out like this and holding it like this. You hold it. And it strengthens your back here. But again, when all those are done, I love to kind of do just to stretch out the back like that. Then people like to go back in a child's pose. So now there's also poses that are meant to open up your hips. And those are typically what they call the swan pose. When you have one leg in front of the other like this, Can you see me? I know this is horrible. I'm not like a very good YouTuber or video person, but so the point is to kind of stretch your hip out. It's like a hip opener almost, right? Like that. And then you reach back behind you and you hold your leg like this and you pull in your calf and you feel a big stretch in your quad. And you feel a stretch over on this side too. And there's this mermaid pose thing that I've been trying to figure out how to do. I don't even know how they do it. They kind of go like, they wrap their arm in like this. And then, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I've been trying to practice it for a really long time. It's hard. And they wrap like that and they hold it. Okay, I can't hold it for that long. But I'll have to practice that. That's what yoga is, it's a practice. And you can look silly and feel silly. But when all is said and done, it's very cleansing for your body. It feels really good. And you can get a really good core workout from it. It's very low impact. I think it's just really good for your mind and body. I love it. I feel real zen when I do it. Oh, all right, so I've probably been talking for a really long time. I probably should be doing more of these exercises instead of talking about them. But I do thank you very much for joining me, Dustin. Were you doing yoga with me, Dustin? Probably not, but that's okay. Because you can play this back and probably do some yoga later. But it's yoga, a little bit of flow. There's even some varieties where you can do some Pilates with it, but there's all sorts of different yoga practices. There's like Bikram yoga, which is like sweaty yoga, where you go in like a hothouse for like 100 degrees and sweat to death. And there's others that's like Shavasana, which is more a low, slow, cleansing yoga. There's flow, which is kind of just like more smooth motions and full movements from like downward dog to upward dog, and a lot of like motions and poses that flow one to another. That's why they call it flow. There's lots of different types of yoga that you can practice. Just find the one that you like the best, right? Heck, you can do yoga with like animals. Like for a while they were doing yoga with goats and yoga with dogs and stuff like that. That was like all the craze for a while. And then, I wish I could do yoga with my kids, but they're just too squirmy. Like I see all these beautiful mothers doing all these great yoga poses with their kids. Maybe their daughter's on their back or on their tummy or something like that. And I wish I could do that without my kids like trying to beat me. And it's not very zen. I don't find that very zen. But certainly if you do yoga practice, and you have some tips or you have some really great poses that you love to do, share them with us. Otherwise, give some support to those people that may have not done any of this before, and give them a little bit of encouragement or some advice. Give me some hearts or some thumbs up, some likes, or share this with your friends. And yeah, like I said, I'll include some YouTube links in here so that you can maybe practice some yoga at home in the privacy of your own home, or go to your local gym or YMCA or park district or whatever. Join one. Or sometimes they do them in the park. Like we have like yoga in the park, which is nice because you can be outside. There's Tai Chi too. And like some of the classes that I take start out with Tai Chi and move into yoga and then balance and then Pilates. And like, it's like a whole, you get all of it all in one. It's really great. So try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's just something that I really enjoy, and it helps me feel a little bit more fit. Especially coming off of a really gross week where I've been torching my body. This is just the medicine that I need. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Have a great one. Oh, and you know how they always say namaste? When you're done with yoga, they say namaste. And you know what that means? I'll tell you what namaste means. It basically means, may the divine lighten me, salute the divine, lighten you. Namaste. So, namaste to you. May the divine lighten me, salute the divine light.